This is Halloween, everybody make a scene, trick or treat, telling me was gonna die of fright.
We got this, man. We got this by the ass. Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of Terrorthon. Today I want to talk through the history of a little known show called Dark Shadows. A lot of people, and especially in the modern audiences, are probably only familiar with the 2012 Tim Burton movie, but there's a whole interesting history behind the only horror soap opera I can think of. Like, what a bizarre combination of genres, a horror soap opera. It deserves to be discussed for that reason alone. So let's get right into it. So as I say, Dark Shadows, it was a gothic soap opera which followed the lives of the wealthy Collins family from Collinsport, Maine. It depicted supernatural elements and occurrences including ghosts, werewolves, warlocks, witches, zombies, time travel. All the horror tropes were present and counted for. The show was first aired in 1966 and immediately attracted a large teenage audience, which was unusual for soaps of the time. Probably because teenagers found the other offerings on TV to be quite boring, Dark Shadows scratched a very particular itch for them, and they would rush home from school to watch it every day. The show was based on a dream had by the creator of the show, Dan Curtis, in 1965, which involved a mysterious woman on a train, and it was originally called Shadows on the Wall. And just the very idea that a show could be based on a dream and then pitched to a network and then made. Different times, my friends, different times. After 6 months of being on the air, Dark Shadows was unfortunately ranked 13th place out of 13 soaps. And this time in general was bad for soaps. A lot of them were getting cancelled. In fact, 5 of them were cancelled during these initial 6 months that Dark Shadows was on the air. And they were told by the network that if things didn't pick up very soon, they would lose everything, the show would be gone. The creator Dan Curtis had always wanted to make a vampire movie, so he introduced the character of Barnabas Collins, who was an immediate hit, and the audience reaction was swift. And this, in essence, saved the show. And at its peak, it was reaching between 7 and 9 million viewers on any day that it was on TV. It had multiple storylines, or sagas as I call them. It's quite similar to like Dragon Ball, and big, long, multi-episode arcs. And these were based on famous horror works, such as the works of H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, Mary Shelley, Daphne du Maurier, Robert Louis Stevenson, such as the famous case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But unfortunately, right after the show's most popular run, it introduced a new storyline called the Leviathan storyline, and that really hurt the ratings because fans wanted the classic movie monsters, the witches, the zombies, the werewolves. They didn't want all this off-camera suggestion of these mysterious beings pulling the strings of Barnabas Collins. And what also hurt the ratings was when the movie House of Dark Shadows came out in October 1970, which was much more adult than the show. There was lots of blood and guts. And it hurt the ratings a lot because a lot of parents took their children to see this movie and thought that the show Dark Shadows was more similar to the movie. So it's like, okay, you can't watch that anymore. So that hurt a lot. The show ended, unfortunately, in 1971. However, over those 5 years, or less than 5 years, we were given 1,225 episodes over 6 seasons. And if you were to get the DVD box set right now, if you were to watch it non-stop, it would take 19.5 days to watch all of it. It's absolutely insane. But that's soaps for you, I suppose. The show spawned 53 books, 2 movies, not including the 2012 one. The other one was called Night of Dark Shadows, and that wasn't as big a success as the first one. It's had comics, it's had 2 television revivals, and of course the Tim Burton movie starring Johnny Depp in 2012. And more recently there have been audio dramas continuing the story of Dark Shadows from 2006 to 2018, and they're currently trying to revive the show under the title of Dark Shadows Reincarnation, and the last we heard about that was in August 2021. I don't believe this show is discussed anywhere near as much as it should be. It's clearly got a very important place in horror history, and I hope you've learned a little bit, and maybe even you'll go watch an episode or 2 just to see what it was like. I hope you will. See you tomorrow.